Good morning, students. This is A. Manoj Kumar, working in Oxford High School, Pugunduru. We have been discussing about the climate of India. Last class, what I explained you? Yes, climatic controls I explained you. So you tell me, regarding which climatic controls I explained you? First one, latitude. Second one, land water relationship. Third one, relief. Fourth one, upper atmospheric circulation. Regarding these four climatic controls, clearly I explained you. In this session, I will explain you about the seasons. If I ask you, tell me how many seasons we have, then everybody, even a child, can give the answer. We have three seasons. What are they? Summer season, rainy season, winter season. Okay, na? You generally tell me in which month we have high temperatures are recording. In the month of May, high temperatures are recording. That is general information we have. In which month we have coldest month, anybody can say. Okay, na? Anybody will answer it, isn't it or not? January month is the coldest month as per Indian perspective. Okay, na? Then which season we receive heavy rains? In the month of July. Okay, na? In the month of August we receive high rainfalls. Isn't it or not? That is the general information everybody having. If you see seasons in Europe, they have different seasons. Okay, na? They have four seasons. What are they? Winter, then spring, then summer, then autumn. Winter, spring, summer, autumn. Okay, na? For them, they have four seasons. Generally, we have three seasons. Regarding that, I explained you. First of all, I am going to explain about winter season. Generally, you tell me regarding the winter season. So, seasons, winter season. You tell me regarding the winter season. Sir, in the month of November, generally winter will start, sir. Then November, December, January, February, up to February ending. Then coldest days we have, sir. Like that, you have information, right? See, the temperatures in the Indian landmass considerably reduces from mid-November up to first week of November. We have heavy temper. That means we have some rainfall occurs. After that, after rainy season, winter season starts. Isn't it or not? Then mid-November and this is cold season continues till February. That means winter season continues up to February. Just now I told you. It starts in the month of November. November ending it starts. Up to which month it continues? It continues up to February. Okay, na? Then January is the usually coldest month. Examination point of view, this bit is very important. He is asking which month is the coldest month. January month is the coldest month. Day temperature sometimes drops below 10 degrees centigrade in several parts of country. You tell me generally, if you go North India, if you visit South India, where temperatures are very low, yes, in the winter, temperature drops considerably in northern part of India because these are far away from the oceans. But in the southern India, we are not experiencing severe winters because adjacent to our states, Bay of Bengal is located, isn't it or not? Bay of Bengal is flowing. Due to that reason, we have moderate climatic controls. Okay, now we have moderate climate, isn't it or not? But they have severe winters and severe summers. Who have northern India? Northern India experiencing severe summers and severe winters. Then southern India experiencing moderate climate. Okay, na? So see, the cold weather is more pronounced in North India. So automatically, where cold weather we can observe in the North India because it is far away from the sea. That to be, these are all inland states. Okay, na? Inland states far away from the ocean or sea. Then South India, especially the coastal areas, enjoy moderate climate as the temperature remains well above 20 degrees centigrade. Even in the winter, so here temperatures rise 20 degrees above. Isn't it or not? Okay, ma. In the in the winter season also, then so hot conditions are little bit hot conditions are prevailing in South India, isn't it or not? During winter, the weather is generally pleasant with clear sky. Very important. During the winter, the weather is generally pleasant with the clear sky, low humidity and cool breeze. So cool breezes are blowing at the same time. Which kind of climate we may observe by the time? Low humidity levels are okay. Now we can find by that time. Then pleasant weather we are able to see and clear skies we are able to see when winter. Okay, cyclone depressions coming from Mediterranean Sea. Okay, na? Cyclone depressions coming from the Mediterranean Sea called western disturbances. Very important examination point of view. Okay, na? So, cyclone depressions coming from the Mediterranean Sea is called western disturbances. These western disturbances causing moderate to low rainfall in the northern part of India. Okay, na? Due to the western disturbances, low or very low rainfall registering in the northern plains. Okay, na? So especially these western disturbances are boon for wheat cultivation. Okay, na? Wheat cultivation, very important. This rainfall is boon to wheat crop, which is generally cultivated in Rabi season. Regarding Rabi season, regarding Kharif season, already you know. Kharif means by that time which crop they cultivate? Yes, paddy. Okay, na? Rice. So during Rabi season, they cultivate wheat. Remember that one. So which is boon for wheat cultivation? The western disturbances coming from the Mediterranean Sea, those are okay, na? Especially these are bringing little bit rainfall. This rainfall is boon for wheat cultivation. Remember that one. Especially northern plains experiencing such okay, na? Rainfall. Remaining southern plains not taking such a rainfall. That's why wheat cultivation is favorable in the northern plains by that time. Do you understand? Then see, India lies in the trade wind belt of North Hemisphere. Generally, India is lies northeast trade wind belt. Remember that one. So, what it given in your textbook? India lies in the trade wind belt of Northern Hemisphere. Northeast trades blow over India from the land to sea. First of all, these trade winds, northeast trade winds, blow from the land area, then it blow towards the sea and pick up the moisture from the Bay of Bengal and bringing the rains to Coromandel coast. Such a way, Coromandel coast receiving the rainfall in the month of November and December, remaining all over India. So in the months of July, August, September, so these months they receive rainfall, but this is okay, na? Different, which is Coromandel coast is entirely different from India. Okay, see, some amount of rainfall occurs on the Coromandel coast of Tamil Nadu. Okay, the Coromandel coast relating to Tamil Nadu. Coromandel coast, Tamil Nadu, from these winds as they pick up moisture from the Bay of Bengal and give rains to Coromandel coast area. Okay, na? Which area covers Coromandel coast? Entire Tamil Nadu, then Nelluru and Prakasham, little bit Prakasham, okay, na? Area also comes under Coromandel coast. By that time, these lands receives rainfall. Do you understand? So up to now regarding winter I explained you. If you see, if you open your textbook, so page number 49, so see the box item, what he given in the box item. See first, what would be the range for the average temperature in AP for January? Okay, na? The average temperature in the January 26 degrees, that is the highest temperature in the January. Then the lowest temperature 16 degrees in the January. In the January, highest temperatures are recording, okay, na 26 degrees, lowest temperatures 16 degrees. Then using your atlas, find some places located on 15 degrees. In India, if you see Jaipur and Madura and Itanagar, these places located in the 15 degrees latitude. Jaipur, okay, Rajasthan, Madura, Uttar Pradesh. Then another one is Itanagar, okay, na? Arunachal Pradesh, Itanagar is located. Then what he given close to the line showing the places where average temperature is 25 degrees, there is a small circle of places on 20 degrees centigrade. How is this possible? If you see textbook, here see 25 degrees and 20 degrees very near to given, isn't it or not? Why? So this circle, 20 degrees circle is very near to 25 degrees circle. Anybody tell me? If you see, this is Tamil Nadu. Okay, na? Tamil Nadu, if you come this 20 degrees circle, then so Western Ghats and Nilgiris come. These Western Ghats and Nilgiris, so these are all elevated areas, nearly 2000 meters Western Ghats height is, nearly 2000 meters Nilgiris height is, then automatically temperature is decreases to 20 degrees, then remaining Tamil Nadu in the January month, 25 degrees temperatures are registering. That's why in Tamil Nadu, most of the places 25 degrees temperature registered, but Nilgiris and Western Ghats area, which is very near to the 25 degrees circle, then their temperatures are dropping. The reason is this is highly elevated area. Okay, na? Sometimes by giving this map, he is asking, so where highest temperatures are registering in India in the January month? Tamil Nadu and Kerala, highest temperatures are registering 25 degrees. Where similar kind of temperatures are registering in India? If you see eastern India, there almost all in all states 15 degrees temperature is registering. That is similar kind of temperatures we may observe in the eastern part of India. Such a way questions are designing in the examination. So keenly observe this map also. Examination point of view, this map is very important. Okay, na? If you keenly observe it, where red mark is given, where, okay, already he mentioned degrees. So Jammu Kashmir 10 degrees, then Rajasthan 15 degrees, Gujarat 20 degrees, like that given. Keenly observe it. Okay, na? This is about summer, especially winter season. Important points are January is the coldest month. Okay, next one is cyclone depressions coming from the Mediterranean Sea called western disturbances. These western disturbances are boon for which cultivation? Wheat cultivation. So these western disturbances bringing rainfall to western plains. Okay, na? So this piece of information is very important. Remember, just now I explained you about winter season. Now we will do little bit general discussion regarding summer season. Tell me yourself. So general discussion, not relating to subject. Sir, in the month of March, we have summer season starts, sir. April onwards, then temperatures gradually rises, sir, all over India. Then May month, we will receive high temperatures, sir. That is the general phenomena, general estimations you have regarding the summer, isn't it or not? So April ending we will complete the examinations, isn't it or not? All examinations, so whether it is 10th intermediate degree, whatever it may be, up to April ending they will finish it, different boards will finish it. Then May they will announce the holidays. Why? Because May month is the hottest month. Suppose if you move from North India to South India, temperatures are increasing, decreasing. Which question I asked you? If you are moving from North India to South India, temperatures decreases in summer. If you are moving from South India to North India, temperatures are rises. Why? Just now I mentioned you. Okay, na? Because extreme climatic conditions are presented in North India. Okay, na? Especially Central India and Western India experiencing hot conditions. Okay na? Then see, during the hot season, as we move from the southern to northern part of country, the average temperature increases. That's one I mentioned you. Starting in April, the temperature rises and slowly the maximum day temperature exceeds 37 degrees in northern plains of India. If you observe April month, if you go northern plains, then temperature exceeds 37 degrees. 37 and above temperatures are recording in northern India. Remember that one. The by mid May, day temperatures may reach 41 degrees to 42 degrees centigrades in many parts of the country. Examination point of view, this is very important. Remember this one. By mid May, day temperature rises 41 degrees to 42 degrees in many parts of the country. These are the general temperatures recording in India in the month of May, especially mid May. Remember that one. Especially in the northwest plains and central India. Northwest plains in the sense Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, these places are located in western part. Okay na? So in the northwestern plains and central India, even minimum temperatures does not go below 20 degrees centigrade. Okay na? So over about 20 degrees centigrade temperatures are recording central India and northwestern part of India. Very important. Central India, which states are existed? Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, okay na? Especially Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. These states are existed in the central part of India. Western Uttar Pradesh also comes under middle part of India. Remember that one. Okay na? So here temperatures won't go below the 20 degrees centigrade in the month of May. So it exceeds 40 degrees. Nowadays if you go anywhere in India in the month of May, above 45-46 degrees temperatures are registering. This is a quite common phenomena we are observing. Towards the end of the summer season, pre-monsoon showers are common in the Deccan Plateau. You know where the Deccan Plateau is located. Okay na? So I will draw that one. See. Okay, this is northwestern part of India. Okay, now this is northwestern part of India. This is the Deccan Plateau. Roughly I drawn. This is Deccan Plateau. So now we are talking about this region, Deccan Plateau. So the northern plains experience dry, hot winds called Lu. I forgot to explain this one. Northern plains means here this is northern plains area. These northern plains experiencing dry and hot winds called Lu. Examination point of view, 1 mark purpose or a half mark purpose is asking explain the Lu. Okay na? So dry and hot winds called Lu. These Lu winds are common in northern plains. Where? Northern plains. Towards the end of the summer season, pre-monsoon showers. So these pre-monsoon showers also called as bursting monsoons. So these are all common in Deccan Plateau area. Where these are all common in Deccan Plateau area. So this is northern plains area. This is Deccan Plateau area. Okay, na? Deccan Plateau. Here, pre-monsoon showers, also called as bursting monsoons, are common towards the end of the summer season. Remember that one. Okay, na? These help in the early ripening of mangoes and other plantation crops in peninsular India. This is peninsular India. So, due to the bursting monsoons, okay, then what is happening here? Mangoes early, then farmers are receiving. They are ripening. Ripening means they are plucking, cutting. Okay, na? So these help in the ripening means it turn as a good fruit. Okay, na? Then we are able to cut it finally. That is ripening. These help in the early ripening of mangoes and other plantation crops in peninsular India. Hence, they are locally known as mango showers in Andhra Pradesh. Pre-monsoon showers or else mango showers. Okay, na? In Andhra Pradesh, they call it mango showers. Pre-monsoon showers are called as mango showers in Andhra Pradesh. Don't confuse. Bursting monsoons also called as mango showers in Andhra Pradesh. Remember that one. Very, very important. Okay, na? Just now I told you bursting monsoons locally having different names. In Andhra Pradesh, locally these monsoons are called as mango showers. Mango showers, remember, examination point of view, very, very important. That's why once again I am stressing that point. Next one is advancing monsoons. Indian climate greatly influenced by the monsoons. Okay, now earlier Arabs they done trade with India. Earlier Arabs they done trade with India. How they came to India? That is my question. By using the boats, they came to India. They done trade with Indians. Okay, na? So by that time, these Arab traders then identified regular, reversal, periodic winds. Okay, they identified regular, reversal, periodic winds. These regular, reversal, periodic winds are called as monsoons. Okay, na? They themselves given the name monsoon name. Who? Arab traders. That is Arab word monsoon. Actually, Mausam is Arab word. From that word, monsoon came. These monsoons greatly influencing our climate. See, the climate of India is strongly influenced by monsoon winds. The sailors who came to India during olden days noticed the regular periodic reversal of winds. Very, very important. They used these winds to sail towards the Indian coast. By using those winds, they reached India, then they done trading. For them, these reversal wind system, regular periodic winds are very important trading point of view. Arab traders named this seasonal reversal of wind system monsoon. Mausam is a Arab word. Remember, examination point of view, Mausam is also very important. Then the monsoon forms in the tropical area approximately between 20 degrees north and 20 degrees south. Okay, na? Then see, we are discussing about advanced monsoons. Which monsoons? Advanced monsoons. Then the monsoon forms in the tropical area. You know very well regarding the tropical area. This is 0 degrees latitude, also called as equator. This is 23 and of north latitude, Tropic of Cancer. This is 23 and of south latitude. This is Tropic of Capricorn. This is equator. Okay, na? So this area, the area which is lies between the tropics, this is a tropical area. Then so here which is forming, monsoons are forming. Where monsoons are forming? So 20 degrees north latitude, 20 degrees south latitude. The monsoon forms in the tropical area approximately between 20 degrees north and 20 degrees south latitude. Here only monsoon system, monsoons are forming. If you go higher latitude area, there is no formation of Okay, monsoons. Only in some parts of the world we are able to see such kind of system. Which kind of system? Monsoon system. For example, India, then northern Australia. Okay, na? Then some parts of Africa we are able to found such kind of monsoon system. Remember that one. Okay, the southern east monsoon winds from the southern hemisphere carry moisture as they flow over the Indian Ocean and towards the equatorial low pressure zones. Especially in the month of April, May, then in India, due to the high temperatures, low pressure area, okay, na, then forming. Okay. Then after crossing the equator, these winds deflects towards the low pressure formed in the Indian subcontinent. Just now I mentioned you. Okay na? Due to the heavy hot conditions, high temperatures, low okay, then low pressure area forming in India subcontinent. Then the heating of land creates low pressure on the land mass of India subcontinent, especially over central India and the Gangetic plain. Then so already excessive, then intensive, okay, low pressure area occurred in the Tibetan plateau, which is then 9 meters altitude, which is located in 9 meters altitude area. Then due to this reason, okay na, these winds are deflecting towards subcontinent, Indian subcontinent area. Okay, all correction. The heating of land creates low pressure in the subcontinent area, especially in the central India and Indo-Gangetic plain area. Okay, central India and Gangetic plain area. Apart from these two, then Tibetan plateau intensely heated and causes strong vertical air currents and formation of low pressure over the plateau above 9 kilometers altitude. I told 9 meters altitude, just correct it. Okay, na? By that time, intensely land heated in central India and Gangetic plain area, then low pressure area forming in that place. Apart from that, Tibetan plateau intensely heated up, then and causes strong vertical air currents and formation of low pressure over the plateau above 9 kilometers altitude. Then flow as the southwest monsoons. Then due to this reason, southwest monsoons flow okay towards that area. Then the India plateau divides them into two branches. Okay na? Indian plateau divides the monsoons into two branches. One is Arabian branch, another one is Bay of Bengal branch. Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. The Indian plateau divides them into two branches, Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. First of all, the Bay of Bengal branch. Okay na? So, see, so this is Arabian branch, then this is Bay of Bengal branch. Arabian branch, Bay of Bengal branch. What I have written, Indian plateau divides it into two branches, Arabian branch and Bay of Bengal branch. The Bay of Bengal branch strikes the Bengal coast. This Bay of Bengal branch strikes the, this is Bengal coast. Okay na? Here Shillong plateau is existed. Here Shillong plateau is existed. See. Okay na? So the Bay of Bengal branch strikes the Bengal coast and the southern face of the Shillong plateau. Then it gets deflected and flows towards the Gangetic plain area. It deflects. Deflects means turns. Okay na? It turns towards Gangetic plain area. This is Gangetic plain. Okay na? So we are discussing about Bay of Bengal branch. This Bay of Bengal branch strikes the Bengal coast. Then afterwards it flows towards the Shillong Plateau. Then there it deflects towards the Gangetic Plain area. Okay na? Then come to the Arabian Sea branch. The Arabian Sea branch arrives on the west coast of India. This is west coast of India. Okay, it strikes the west coast. Which strikes the west coast? Arabian Sea branch strikes the west coast of India. Okay, and moves northwards. So it moves the northwards. Okay. Then what happens? Both the branches reach India by the beginning of the June. Okay, now by the beginning of the June, these two branches, Bay of Bengal branch, Arabian branch, two branches then reaches India. Okay, now this Bay of Bengal branch and Arabian branch both reaches India by the month of June. Okay, now both branches reach India by the beginning of the June, which is known as onset of monsoons. So this is called onset. Onset means starting point. Okay, na? Onset of monsoons. How onset of monsoon so occurring? Such a general questions he may forms. By that time you should write what we discussed up to now. That information you write. Okay, na? So they gradually spread over entire country in 4 to 5 weeks. These two branches spread all over country except this coast, Coromandel coast. The bulk of the annual rainfall in India receives from southwest monsoons. Okay, na? This is south, this is west. We are receiving bulk of the rains from the southwest monsoons. So this is which branch? Arabian branch strikes these words. So this is Bay of Bengal branch strikes the Bengal coast. So India then excessively taken the rains from the southwest monsoons. Very important. Southwest monsoons. Tamil Nadu coast, Coromandel, however, mostly dry during this season. So Tamil Nadu coast also called as Coromandel coast. Coromandel coast in the sense Tamil Nadu coast. So mostly dry in the southwest monsoon season. That means our rainy season. That means Coromandel area is totally dry. Remember that one. Tamil Nadu coast, however, mostly dry during this season, as it is in the rain shadow area of the Arabian Sea branch and is parallel to the Bay of Bengal branch. It is in the rain shadow region of Bay of Bengal branch, Arabian branch, and it is parallel to the Bay of Bengal branch. That's why this area in this season mostly dry. Okay, na? I think everybody understood regarding this. Okay, na? So up to now what we discussed, you once go through the textbook. I explained you about the winter, and afterwards summer, advancing monsoons I explained you. Okay, na?